Welcome everyone to the L7C podcast, Dragon Ball edition. Today, we're just going to talk some random Dragon Ball stuff because there is no chapter this month. We gave that last month in our preview, and there was no scans either this month. So they're keeping it lock and key. Obviously, things are different since Toriyama's passing unexpectedly, but they're working on some stuff. But we got the Dragon Ball expert with here, Mr. Mitch Oso. How you doing, man?
I'm doing pretty good as always. Doing pretty good. How about yourself?
I'm doing great, man. Felt weird not having a chapter on the 20th of this month or of any of the days, but they did tell us that there would be no chapter this month.
That they did, and I'll just start this one off here real quick and just say, he obviously Toriyama passed away March 1st, but also April 5th
Hmm.
is his birthday. So between the two episodes here, happy birthday, Toriyama, and wish you were here. He would have been 69 this year. If I'm doing the math right real quick. Hopefully, because that's what I try to do my career in is mathematics, and it's really late. So yeah, 69 years old he would have been. So close.
Speaking of birthdays and all that, I know this still has you hot, and I've been looking. I didn't think they did anything. You still mad Nintendo didn't say a word?
Nintendo can shove it. They can shove it. Them and McDonald's can shove it so freaking hard that they didn't say anything about his passing. Nintendo, I don't know how, Toriyama can be one of the big three contributors for, Chrono Trigger back in the day on the Super Nintendo, and then just overall, you know, his influence on, how the world perceives like, Japan, like through manga.
Mhm.
It's in the same realm as like what Nintendo has done. You know, it just it, and they didn't say I didn't see anything of Nintendo, you know, mentioning his passing or anything like that. And yep, that's bullshit, especially whenever Microsoft and Sony did through their Xbox and PlayStation Twitter accounts. And it just doesn't make sense to me. I don't know what their beef is and or why they're ignorant. I don't know, but maybe they just had more people to sue because that's just part of their gig. They beat Universal and court, and then they just think that they're a hot shit. But anyways, regardless, I digress on that.
That's the
McDonald, but
McDonald's just has, I think they just have the most nerve how they didn't say anything. But then, like, hours after his passing, they drop like their own anime universe for
McDonald's
commercials.
has the largest set of fucking balls out there. How can you, in your, you probably have some marketing interns and probably some kids who probably, you're not paying them at all and you're just, milking them for their talent and just bullshitting to them. But regardless, you're probably just listening to one kid say, "Oh, anime is very popular. Mangas are very popular amongst my generation. We should totally revolve our marketing campaign of selling fucking cheeseburgers and nuggets and French fries around it." Okay, that's fine. It works. I get it. You want to appeal to a younger generation and seem hip. Companies do it all the time, man. Especially regarding the whatever month it is, depending on how they wish to acknowledge certain groups and then completely forget about them the other 11 months. Anyways, whatever. There's just McDonald's can shove shit up their ass. But yeah, they want to make their marketing campaign about anime. And then whenever arguably the king of like manga and anime
Mhm.
dies, you don't say a gosh damn word. What 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 a missed opportunity. That's how I'll say it. You want
Uh,
more brownie points from the younger generation or just the yeah, you missed out on a huge opportunity. Nope.
I agree. I agree. So with no chapter, obviously we know how the last one ended on feel goods, all that. We have no idea where next one is going to go. We do know that the main characters, Goku and Vegeta, are back on Earth. So
Nope.
maybe for how long we don't know. Who do you think starts off the chapter whenever it comes out? You think it's going to be them on Earth, seeing their wives for the first time in
Yeah.
ages, or is it just gonna show maybe Frieza just taking over Universe 10 or
Nah, I think we'll see a little bit of Chi-Chi or Bulma with their, respective husbands. Um, I honestly don't know if next chapter will show any sort of, you know, what the future beholds, maybe
Mhm.
until at the end of the chapter. I honestly would feel like we would get just a little bit of a tiny filler, like manga chapter, and then maybe like they would show a preview then as to what is coming for us then to get hyped for um that would be June's chapter, assuming that's what next month would be like.
Yeah,
But
Jude, man, but no,
or
I won't
or
disagree.
well, I'm trying to think of how would they like to time it with Daima,
I
you know?
mean, they're very strategic in every spoiler that they drop. Like those initial, they always drop the one to get people talking the most with no context.
Yep.
I
Yep, that's
mean,
what they
yeah,
do.
that's just what they do. But man, Mitch, with the future, obviously you brought up Daima, Fall and all that, but got some funny Dragon Ball questions for you because obviously these were floating around, especially after Toriyama's passing. Do you think Dragon Ball is done with forms? Do you think there'll be
Oh
no more
no.
new
Oh hell
forms?
no. Oh, absolutely hell no. I mean, we still have to get through whatever these multiple layers of Ultra Instinct that have been, you know, foreshadowed to us. Ultra Ego is going to get some sort of Ultra Mega Ego. It's going to be, yeah, we ain't done yet. We ain't
So
done.
who do you think is getting the next new form?
New form?
Hmm.
Like, you mean where it's like cosmetically truly different?
Yes.
Hmm. Well, I wish Broly didn't control his Super Saiyan transformation against Gohan. I would have said him.
Well, maybe he does. Maybe he pushes past that.
Maybe we can finally get a Super Saiyan 3 Broly. I mean,
Oh yeah.
let's fucking go. But that's not new. That's in video games. So it's like, what? Who? I'll tell you, I don't know if it's a transformation I want to or but I want to see I want to see more of Beerus. I'm trying to think if like Beerus could show
Hmm.
his version of Ultra Ego. Like I want to see him push to the limit a little bit. But because that's at least something different. Because I'm just trying to think of something different. Because I could easily say, Gohan, or any of the main, but I don't want to sound dumb and say TN. I'm ready for TN to show us something.
Well, I'll sound dumb for you because if this was betting odds, this one is way super
Oh,
high.
plus 20,000
Oh
or
yeah,
less
it's plus 20,000.
plus 20.
But I think you would bet plus 20,000. But the problem is when we bet in real life, if we don't know a player is going to be in the game or not, we don't know if we'll ever see this person again. I'm gonna say Jiren.
A power up for Jiren. He doesn't have
Yeah, it's
forms
gonna be
though. He
something
just has
different. Maybe we had Jiren red, it might be Jiren magenta. It's gonna be something different, man. Because right now he's getting stomped. If Tournament of Power Jiren show but like you always say, he's training somewhere, but he's got to have something new.
Jiren doesn't have like, transformations though. He just powers up. He just like he's what Nappa should have been like, He's just fucking he just Nappa is just a schmuck. Anyways,
Well, he
no.
had Jiren, and then he had Red Aura Jiren, and then he had Red Jiren, no shirt. He's gonna have something new because he's
Those
like,
ain't
oh, I can't be doing
transformations. That's
this.
just powering up. Like, can you imagine if Jiren knew that just the Kaioken? Like,
Maybe he learns his own version.
that'd be sweet. Honestly, if anyone needed a transformation of some sort based off of just discussions in the past, your arch nemesis hit.
Oh, brother.
He would have
As soon as you
something.
said Arjuna, well, you could have went Kefla because I think honestly, if it's odds, it's probably going to be Kefla.
Yeah, more likely it would be some sort of Saiyan. Like it'd be cool if I don't know. Do the Universe 6 Saiyans, do they really need Super Saiyan God? What if they went Super Saiyan 4?
That would be very interesting. Like
That
that
would be.
would be very that would make them a lot more intriguing.
You wanna know what's funny? That this is the first time that we have mentioned that like Universe 7 would have, God power Saiyans and Universe 6 would have the Super Saiyan 4 transformation or whatnot.
Mhm.
First time we've ever said that. In the many years we've done this, never have we ever mentioned that. Just watch. In 5 days from now, we are recording this on the 21st. By the 28th, somewhere it will be fucking mentioned by
By one of
someone,
the
and
big
it will be,
YouTubers.
yep, with someone's spying on us, and they will the algorithm will feed it right back to my fucking face. I just know people listen to us, man. And these guys that are super high up, I don't think uh, I think they listen to us and maybe other podcasters and they just try to get in like ideas just to shoot the shit because they don't know what they're talking about anymore. They've done this for too long. They're unoriginal. They steal jokes like Carlos Mencia. It's just how it is. So,
Yeah,
but
I just think that I mean that thought now I'm just because that would be a way to instantly make Universe 6 relevant. You
oh
would
yeah,
probably they would become more fan favorites because Super Saiyan 4, I mean, we've talked about it. G tier now, Super Saiyan 4 is one of the most loved things in all of Dragon Ball fandom.
yep,
So if you gave it to them, then you would get a whole bunch of people pissed because it's like we're giving the tingly back people Super Saiyan 4. Because I didn't even think of 4. I was just thinking like, oh, we're gonna get the first female Super Saiyan 3 because that's what Khalifa and Kale
yep,
wanted all this time is Super Saiyan 3. So if they're like, oh yeah, we went past Super Saiyan 3, Goku be like, what? You went to God or Blue? Like, no. And then they go 4, we'd be like, holy jeez.
yep. That'd
That's
be
a really good idea.
that'd be sweet. That'd be really cool.
Now I don't know how
And
the
obviously, I
I don't
want
know
them
how
to earn it.
physically it would work for them though, because they're all like small bodied, like I mean, they're like what 18, 19, some shit like that. But like,
Yeah.
I don't know if they're gonna look as massive as Goku and Vegeta did.
I'm curious if any of them can control the Great Ape form already.
Oh,
Form,
yeah.
Great Ape form. God, tongue twister. But I would assume so. But I don't know.
Yeah, because they didn't have their tail. They don't have their tails or whatever. That would be kind of funny if King Zadala came through. He's like, "Oh, this has been a secret technique for so long in our sand thing. I was waiting for the right sands to teach him."
Yep.
And when Vegeta ever visits, which probably won't happen because Frieza's probably going to go to all these universes and start messing them up. But no, I really like that's a good. Yeah, but more than likely it's going to be one of those universe 6 hits. You brought up Tien. What could you give the humans besides UI? Because that ain't happening.
All right, here's the popular debate. Is Tien really human?
I think so.
I don't know. It goes back to like what we were saying, or I think I've said about Gohan is that I wish his beast transformation was due to some sort of genetic mutation between the blood of a Saiyan and a human. So like, because then that could have potentially then given humans some sort of transformation because they would have had something in their blood that would have helped out. But apparently that's not in the cards. So, um, if Tien is not human, then it's like you do whatever the hell you want with him. The dude, the dude at least, he put down Cell a little bit, and he had 10 seconds of fame against Majin Buu, and all he does is run a dojo. But I mean, Android 17 fights poachers and knocks out Jiren. I don't know, just fucking do
I
whatever.
just 17. It's
Yeah,
that
I'm
I think
I'm reckless.
emphasized the worst of Dragon Ball Super.
No, the second worst. The tingling of the back was definitely the
Oh
worst.
yeah, that's true. But like
'Cause that ruined your childhood.
it did.
All those times on recess, whenever you went out to the soccer field and you just tried to power up and scream at the top of your lungs, in hindsight, your teachers are probably standing on the blacktop and they're just staring at you like you're psycho or whatnot, making fun of you in the teacher's lounge for all I know. Like all of that time wasted, wasted, just because you didn't have that tingle in your back. So there you go.
But yeah, tingly back, that's number one. But the 17, like 17, and I like,
Fighting poachers, yeah, that's
yeah, and
bad.
I like him, but it's just the fact that it really just emphasizes the worst of Super because, again, last time we saw this man outside of him pointing a gun at a random poacher to put his hand up for the spirit bomb, 17 couldn't beat first form Cell.
Yep.
And you're
And
telling me in that 10-year skip, fighting poachers, fighting people with power levels like ours, he's able to match with god level people and survive.
yep. Just think if Raditz, fought all of those farmers that he met, he would be strong enough to take on Jiren. That's the kind of logic that kind of bullshit spews out.
Oh, I mean, yeah, because fighting like poachers. Oh, and then he has no training partners. Like it was never documented that 18 was going there training with them. Like I don't get it. Also, it's weird that how 17 and Goku met for the first time and Super, and then but
Right?
whatever.
Not in GT.
Not in GT, or like he didn't come. If 17 cared about the planet, why didn't he come when Boo annihilated everyone? Super Boo. I mean, his animals died,
If Tien survived Majin
which
Buu's
makes
like
no
attack,
sense.
the 17 should have survived.
He
And then
should have.
17 should have shown up. But
I just love how Tien just stayed out the way. He did not involve himself with the rest of the Z fighters unless, like, this man didn't do the tournament. He wasn't on the lookout. He randomly showed up to help Goku and Dende and them and did some random tri beams, then got knocked out. And it's funny too when Goku and them left Earth, when they're talking about, oh, Gohan and the boys, Tien's body was just on the ground too, and you just left him for dead.
Tien's been disrespected for no reason.
He has, but and he has a good. I mean, I don't understand why Tien and Videl actually don't work together, since they both have the same job occupation of running a martial arts dojo.
That is true.
Unless Videl's is just only women and Tien's is only guys, and then Tien just stays far away from the city because he doesn't want to deal with Launch.
We need more Launch.
Launch is hilarious.
Launch is such a great character. Like, think about that. You have you have an innocent, peaceful, shy, like blue purple haired, like character, and then because she freaking sneezes, her bipolar disorder kicks in, and her entire persona goes the exact 180, and her hair turns blonde, and she starts shooting the shit out of everyone around. What a great Dragon Ball character. What a great Dragon Ball character.
Like I mean, she's crazy, man. She's really, but it's hilarious because it all works out. And hopefully one day she actually does get Tien.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah, let's see. I'm trying to see. Do you think so with Daima coming out in October, do you think we're gonna get a movie like in 2025 or 2026?
Maybe 25. I don't. Actually, no. I think probably 26 because I'm trying to think how long Daimo's going to run for. Because I would think that Daimo would run through at least the beginning of next year,
Yeah.
maybe spring. I forget how many episodes there are or how often they're going to be shown. I could be completely incorrect with that, but yeah,
I just
yeah.
wonder what a movie would be about.
That's the thing. Do these will these movies ever be standalone again, or are they all going to connect into the
Main
into
story.
Super?
Well,
Because obviously back in the day, before Battle of Gods, those movies were just all standalone.
Oh yeah, you did what you wanted. You did what you wanted to do, and you got we
Yep.
got some great stuff. We got Cooler, which is great, fan favorite, obviously. And then like Fusion Reborn, Gogeta, and man, you see what's man, some of those old movies. I want to hear your opinion on this. Piccolo was getting smoked in some of these movies, and some of these movies they didn't even have him in the movie.
Dude, it was rude what they did to Piccolo, but the movies really were just rehashings of just the show for a lot of things. But man, I can only think of like when Turles just blasted the
Oh,
shit.
dude, that was brutal.
I mean, that's a meme. That
that's
is a meme.
that's when you know it's brutal or you made it when it's a meme. Because I was just going in my head like, obviously for story purposes, whatever. But like, if you're just doing it as wrestling terms, kayfabe and like your real world, why was Piccolo not in the second Broly movie? Like, why wouldn't he not have sent Broly on Earth? All he does is stand on the damn lookout and come help Gohan.
I don't know. It's the same question that we asked just, 3 minutes ago. Why does TN not show up when Goku and Vegeta, like, why is he not showing up in the Majin Buu saga like until the very end? Like,
Like, Piccolo wasn't in the second Broly movie. He wasn't in the third one. He wasn't even in Wrath of the Dragons. He wasn't in Fusion Reborn. You start naming all these things, you're like, what the hell? Piccolo wasn't in all these movies?
I didn't really think about Fusion Reborn. That's a good point. Like, because kind of like what they did in GT, with Piccolo, after his death, and he's just kind of, the guardian of hell or whatever you want to like phrase it. Like we're talking about hell itself and tearing of dimensions.
Mm-hmm.
Like they even bring out Shenron to ask him about it and to try to close the gate, and he says he can't. Like, dude, this just screams that this should involve the Namekian. But I don't know, maybe because they had PyCon in there, they didn't want two green guys. I don't
That's
know.
what so I've heard that too, but Wrath of the Dragon too. I'm like, come on, bro. You were a main Z fighter during the Buu saga. Like all of them were at the damn Capsule Corp. Like you could have pulled up.
Actually, they should make PyCon canon.
Is that
Just
the
make him
next
canon.
movie?
Give him a transformation. Make him really fucking strong.
Why didn't they take? Why didn't Goku get Pikkon instead of Frieza? I understand because of the power gap in the story, but if you didn't want a bad guy on your team, they could have got Pikkon.
Honestly, I don't know why you didn't get the strongest people like on your on your team. Like with respect to Tien or Krillin, probably by the time of super and power scaling, people would probably say Krillin could smack the shit out of like Pycon.
Oh yeah.
But
Hmm.
I'm just gonna say I ain't taking that. No, Pycon.
Oh, you
I'm
think that
taking
what was his damn move? The Thunder Flash attack.
that shit. That's and that's the thing. Here's why I am not taking Pike or Krillin or Tien or whomever over Pycon. Here's why. All they do in Otherworld is train.
Yeah.
Every single day they train. All right. And I know for a fact they're training. I also know for a fact that Krillin is not necessarily training all the time. He's playing fucking cop.
I mean,
Okay.
that's his real job. But
Real
yeah.
job. Exactly. Real job. So, and here's the kicker. In the 7 years between Cell and the World Martial Arts Tournament, Goku had been training every freaking day, unlocked Super Saiyan 3 without telling a damn soul, and then just springs that about. I assume Pycon is training his fucking ass off. So yeah, I'm
No,
gonna
it's funny when Krillin and Yamcha when Otherworld and they got special privilege. They went straight to Grand Kai's planet. They were there training. They were the last two. Well, I think someone would be like, "Hey, Pycon and oh boy, Blondie, they were down against Kid Buu in one hit. Yamcha and Krillin were the last two trying to stop Kid Buu."
well, full disclosure, they knew who Boo was whenever
That
he
is
showed
true.
up. So they at least knew that they need to keep their distance. But but
Now,
yeah.
Pycon would have been. I mean, I think if you're actually redoing it and like actually, cause like, hey. we if we can get dead people, then Pycon is an option. I would have taken Pycon.
Yeah, I would have taken Pycon probably over probably 10. Because you can't get rid of Krillin because Krillin's not going to not fight if his wife is fighting.
Yeah. And then also, I mean, you could have a that cool interaction with like a Pycon Piccolo finally meeting for the first time.
Hmm.
I mean, that would have been. Now, if you want to talk about like, if you wanted to keep the drama of working with like past bad guy tense feelings with the Frieza thing, I mean, instead of like Pycon or Tien, and I don't know why they didn't go that stupid fish fight him. And I think this still would have been overpowered. Future Trunks on the team having to do like a combination attack with 17 and 18 would have been freaking cinema.
Oh, it would have been real good.
Oh, that would have been wild.
That would have been so cool.
Especially if the combination, he starts getting PTSD because it's like the combination move that killed future Gohan. Dude. Then
Mm.
Trunks teaming up with Gohan would have been cool. Trunks teaming up with Vegeta would have been cool. And then Kaba would have got jealous. Who's that guy? Trunks and Vegeta would be like, oh, yeah, that's my son. Because Kaba doesn't know Vegeta got kids. So,
Mm,
that mentor might be jealous because they'll never be the bio kid.
maybe.
Oh,
Do you ever think we'll see future Trunks again?
I think he's too hot of a commodity not to see him again. I just don't know where you would drop him at.
I want to know what he's doing right now because
Having kids.
he's not what in the void?
I
Like he's gonna bust one in the busted up void?
mean, he's somewhere, man. I don't know where the hell he at, but his Luke Skywalker butt's protecting something with him in mind, which is still not okay. But I don't. We couldn't give him any love interest of his age, but that's all right.
He's mid 20s, she's like 70. I mean, it's all right.
Oh
Hugh
yeah,
Hefner
in
is
the
in
real
reverse.
world in 2020, but she's not even a sugar mom because he
Yeah.
take well.
Now, present
Trump
day
should
Trump,
be rich because he should have inherited anything Bulma had. But like you said, in what universe?
I can't. I'm still uh I'm still convinced though that Zeno is a god of destruction.
Oh, and your boy. I mean, whenever this ends, and then your boy Grand Priest is the one running the show. I mean, I see Grand Priest like as the Secretary of State. Like he is like running really everything, and everyone reports to him.
He should be. No, what was I gonna say? Um, where did I see it? I rewatched or reread something. I think it was I reread the ending of the Zamsu manga.
Hmm.
I forgot that when Zeno destroyed that timeline, it destroyed that particular time ring.
Hmm.
I forgot all about that. And like, I'm like looking at that and I'm like, because I keep thinking of the anime where the ring is still there. Because
That's one of the most worthless universes there ever were.
what, 9, 10?
Not 10. They're terrible.
Nine's horrible. But who's worse, 9 or 10?
At least nine's freaking Supreme Kai understood his or her role, and oh, he was an asshole too, but he wasn't trying to go kill all these mortals. He just wanted to go kill Universe 7 before the tournament. Oh, because he saw Goku shoot that Kaioken Super Saiyan Blue unnecessary Kamehameha to his top fighter. And he's like, dang, my top fighter's losing the exhibition thing. We might as well not show up.
Sidra was a dipshit, man. Like they're literally looking for fighters with the danger to trios, right? And they're on that one planet and he asks them, he's like, is there anyone here who can fight for us that is worthy or something like that? And they're like, no, we couldn't find anyone. Then he looks at that city of people and then he just wipes them out. And I'm like, I don't know, maybe you should have knocked on everyone's door first. Just like, because like, why would you wipe out people whenever, if you even have a hunch that you're going to get smoked and die? It's like, don't don't waste your opportunities to potentially win when you know if you lose, you're going to get erased anyways. It's like,
Oh, that's true. I mean, and then he giving that energy to Frieza and like to try and kill. Man, they're stupid. That's why they got killed so quick, man. You barely forgot them.
too funny.
And because of power scaling, obviously they're stronger than the people I'm about to name. But man, I don't know if that little trio of danger could beat Cooler's little platoon boys.
Oh my God, the French dude.
Yeah, but obviously they would smoke him because of scaling. But if you made everything equal, man, I don't know. That French dude was going through it in that movie, and he made it past Cooler. Like Cooler
Yep.
got blasted to the sun, Zal's still set up, and then he got killed by a special beam cannon. But
Oh, the Patrick Slayer. Anyway,
and you bring that up. I mean, Xenoverse 2, I mean, not Xenoverse. Sparkling Zero, Budokai Tenkaichi 4, they had some new scans because, Dragon Ball had to have scans of something. They had game scans showed Beerus, Whis, and kind of crazy. It's gonna be the first game that Beerus, well, the first Budokai game Beerus and Whis are in. So
yep.
people are still highly anticipating that game and just hoping for a release date and for the new people because I know there's gonna be a lot of new fans introduced to Dragon Ball because of this game.
Yep. It'll be nice to have the game series back after so long. Never thought we'd actually get this.
Oh no. I thought the PS2 one on Tenkaichi 3 was it because they put so much effort into that game. They had every character from Dragon Ball, Z, all the movies, and the important ones from GT that you're able to do all the sagas. I thought that I was like, no, they will never put that much effort in the Dragon Ball game ever again.
They need to try the VR game again or the Kinect. Remember when they had that
Yeah,
game and
I
it
do. I'll
bombed?
settle for the old games being remastered on current gen.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
I'll take a Budokai 1, 2. Actually, I will never play Budokai 1 again. I'll take a 2, 3 on like
I'd like to
PlayStation
play
5,
two
Xbox, because
again.
I am never doing that Radix spin. I don't care how old I'll get. I'm never doing that again.
You'd probably do it today. Like you'd probably do it again if you tried it and you're like, okay, this wasn't as hard as what I remember as a kid, but like so much shit seemed harder as a kid.
Yeah, but bro, that one, like, if you didn't have him in the thing, if you have if his boot pinky toe was outside of the thing, they'd fail your ass.
They'd probably fix it for I would say the remaster, but I never whenever I bought the uh like for Xbox, I don't know if it was on the other consoles, but like for 360, I bought the Budokai 1 and 3
Mhm.
collector's edition that they had. I was just so focused on playing 3, I didn't even bother going to 1, so I never played it again to see if maybe they kind of corrected that, but
I also don't have an issue with two. I think two is actually underrated because it's I think it's better than one, but then it's not three. You also people didn't like the board game master, which I kind of like the board game thing because you had to strategize a little bit.
it was a
And
nice interface.
two had all the what if fusions.
Mm-hmm. That it did. It did a lot of what if fan service on there and
Hmm.
stuff that we never considered, and I mean, the game was so good.
And Tien and Yacho. I don't know about now. Then they really should fuse and make that canon. Like, who else is left for Tien to fuse with besides his buddy Yamcha? It ain't gonna be Chaozu.
No. Um, I'm trying to think. I personally like that board game.
Yeah.
Just again, just change of pace. And honestly, I'm glad they did the board game for that one because whenever, three came out and I was able, we were able to fly around. Oh my God, what a surreal feeling.
Oh yeah,
Be
flying.
able to fly
The
around and
ch
find shit.
the change was so crazy. Like, oh, we can fly. Like, we can we can go to like random spots on the whatchamacallit, on the map. If you had,
Mm.
like, you shared something earlier, if you had like the cheat codes or whatever, oh, if you go to this island before you go to fight this person, you can unlock some new skills. Oh yeah,
Yep,
I'm gonna go do that. I could collect Dragon Balls. I could randomly get into the movie quest. Like, man, it was just such good shit.
it was. Those games, it's funny and like thinking back on them, I don't know if maybe this was every like or a lot of game series like that, but those three games, Budokai 1, 2, and 3, their ridiculousness of each one sort of reminded me if you ever played Digimon World 1, 2, and 3,
Hmm.
because 2, so 1 was just, okay, 1 and Budokai 1 don't share similarities, but like Budokai 2 and like World 2, Digimon World 2, they both were in Digimon, you were driving in a car on like you were in like a labyrinth map. Like every single level was like a labyrinth as you're trying to navigate your way through it and it's just kind of like its own board game itself. And then the third one, that's whenever they were just like, okay, do what you do what you want. Here you go. Feel free to be in the Digimon world, but that Digimon 1 game was the epitome of that, and that was harder as fuck. But
No, it's yeah, how they made each made different. Like you just said, each was so different. Like, kind of crazy how Budokai is really like the first like big system game, and they did the story, and it's kind of crazy how that story ended at the Cell game. You're just like, wow, that was it back then. Like, that's all the Cell games was
well,
it.
you think that's crazy? Think about when we were playing Burst Limit. That game came out in 2010,
Now
whatever,
that makes no that one that's a good
and
that
that
one makes
one
no
ended on
sense.
Cell, and there was no DLC. Like,
Technically, they ended on Broly,
yeah, they did. I mean, that they did.
but still makes no sense because that's still like a Cell Saga movie.
Yeah,
That's actually I just actually wow. They really GT was done, like
yeah, they
Dragon
ended
Ball Z was
well.
done, and maybe they thought they were gonna get a sequel, and that's how they're gonna sell Burst Limit 2, which I
I
actually would not be mad for a sequel.
I am trying so fast to get to the Wikipedia of Burst Limit because
They
I gotta see if it says anything.
they had to have been planning for a sequel. They had to. Because why would you not have Super Saiyan more? Because Gohan's the only Super Saiyan 2 in that game.
And thing is that the game, it says here that the game, along with its sales, the game received positive reviews from gaming
Hmm.
critics. I mean, 73% on game ratings. Metacritic had 72, but I mean, I'm just trying to read real quick here.
Now I'm thinking of the counterpart, the quote unquote rival who came out at the same time. They got two games, the Raging Blast series.
That's weird.
And Raging Blast, I know they got to Kid Buu, but they didn't do anything past Kid Buu. I don't think.
Mm, as for Burst Limit, I can't see anything about real quick about why there was no like true follow-up to it. I mean, it's part of Budokai series, so it just, it's just part of that family of games, but never had a follow-up. I'm trying to think. I only played Raging Blast, I think, due to you, because you had it when we were in college.
Hmm.
I just never. I never explored it. It's just
Because Raging Blast 2, that came out November 2nd, 2010 for PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360.
yep, that's college for us.
And then when did Burst Limit come out?
Oh, Burst Limit came out. Mm, the game was developed. It was released in Japan on June 5th, 2008. North America, June 10th. So 2000 summer of '08.
Wow. That is because I'm just looking. And also the reason I wanted to get the only reason I really got Raging Blast 2 is mostly for the DVD because you got the plan to eradicate the sands.
I don't understand why that movie has not been dubbed. Like, I don't understand why some of those movies have not been dubbed. Like,
Technically, because I know we talked about Battle of Gods being canon. Technically, Yo Goku and his Sons Returns is the first real canonic movie.
yeah,
I mean,
that it is all because of one single damn line about Vegeta having a brother. It was totally ignored for 40 years, 30 years, whatever.
yeah, and I'm looking at the Raging Blast too. They had the main bad guy from the plan to eradicate the sand, the Tuffle dude. They had a lot of what ifs. I think they became the king of what ifs because you had Broly Super Saiyan 3, you had Vegeta Super Saiyan 3.
Yeah,
Like, yeah, I think they just went to Boo. Yeah, new characters. Man, they went to Boo Saga. Wow. And then they stopped. Yep, because Raging Blast and Burst Limit were the last ones for the PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360. Then you get the PlayStation 4s coming in, and that's when Xenoverse 1 starts coming.
good old days, man.
I mean, yeah, Xenoverse 1, I mean,
I actually was just watching Xenoverse 1 because I love watching that clip of when Beerus fooled Demigod and almost killed him.
oh yeah, that was sweet.
That was so good. It
It's
was
just,
amazing.
they never, they will never escape how Xenoverse 1, if you didn't buy it at a certain time or for a certain version, you didn't get Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta.
Yeah, you did not, if you did not pre-order, you had to pre-order the game to get it. However, like GameStop and all them had copies of that game that had like Vegeta in it. You just had to go and just buy it new just to get it. Because I
Mhm.
remember you bought Xenoverse 1, but you didn't buy the one that had Vegeta in it.
Yeah,
Then I went to the store and bought the game with with Vegeta in it and gave it to you.
that was crazy because they had no DLC in that game. But then Xenoverse 2, as we obviously know, they're DLC kings. They've been going 6, 7, 8 years now. And they put everyone in the game they're allowed to. If they were allowed to put more on the game, they would have done it like months ago.
You know,
Now they're just making their own what if stories. They're like, you're not going to allow us to give us Ultra Ego. We're just going to make up our own version.
I still find it interesting though, or kind of asinine, that Demigod you can play as him in the Switch's Xenoverse 1, but you can't play him in any other game,
Yeah,
right?
that makes no sense.
Like, why is he not a playable character yet in Xenoverse 2? Unless he is, and I missed that memo.
No, that makes no sense. And like Mira, Toa, and Demigirl, like Xenoverse when it first comes out, we're like, oh, these are good original characters.
It was good story. Good story too.
We're like Demon Realm. I know you've always been a component of, man, let's see some more Demon Realm. Tomorrow you're supposed to be king of the demons and you're over here getting chewed up like a cookie, literally.
Yep, cookie ass bitch.
Oh man, I know. That would be something crazy if he was
And if anything, it'd be nice if the Demon Realm tried to get revenge on like Majin Buu, for example.
Mhm.
Like you killed our dude. Now we're going to come after you, man.
Oh, damn. If you could see a random god of destruction one-on-one fighting each other and you can't use beers, who would you pick?
I want to see that fish dude working. I want to see
Uh,
that fish versus
mhm.
the robot one. The universe one and the robot one. I want to see them go at it.
That's I forget about those ones of the universes who just got to sit there and relax while everyone else's lives were on the line.
I'll be honest with you. I don't even want to see the God of Destructions fight. I want to see the people in that universe. I really want an explanation of the mortal scale because it really does not make sense to me that Universe 7 was the second lowest. Like, there's no fucking way that they were
Huh?
the second lowest and they smoked the shit out of most of that tournament, like participants.
That's a good question. I mean,
Because
wait.
either that, well, what that tells me is a couple things here. One, the scaling is bullshit, just pure bullshit. And Universe 7 was lied to, so then like they could have themselves pushed even further. Like it'd be sweet if like Zeno or like the Grand Priest were like, yeah, we actually held the Tournament of Power not because we wanted to wipe out a couple of like universes just for the hell of it, but there's a danger to us, and we needed to figure out fighters that could help us. Like, like for example, like all of Unreal Gaming's, all of his fan mangas,
Yeah.
right? Like that kind of level, or like that one manga series where all the Erased universes came back,
Hmm.
and the Grand Priestess is back. It's like uh, that would be cool because then they could be like, yeah, we lied about the power scaling so that we hoped Universe 7 would push themselves. Because I think Beerus said something like that. Or no, who said that? I
Well,
feel
they
like
lied about Monetta's power.
no, not Monetta's power, but that is actually no, I think you're right then. Um no, you're 100% right. Yep, thank you. So like they've already had that logic before, so maybe that could happen. Or if lying about the power scales is not right, then maybe the other gods did not recruit well enough. Maybe in their mad scramble to find people, they overlooked the really strong people. And like Universe 10, because 10 technically had a higher mortal rating than 7, right?
Hmm.
So, they get all those like weightlifters, those bodybuilders drinking their freaking protein shanks, shakes. It's like maybe go on. Anyways, but maybe Universe 10 sucked because Gawasu didn't have enough time to actually look for people or train up people. Maybe he was training Zamasu so much that he neglected his universe, and then the moment that Zamasu gets like completely wasted, then all of a sudden here's the Tournament of Power. It starts in 2 days. Get your shit together. And then he's like, I don't even know where to fucking look. But if he actually had time, then he'd be like, oh, I got a really strong son of a bitch over there I've never talked to. Let me go see if he'll join. He could destroy Jiren with both hands behind his back. But nope.
Good point. It's a good point on that because it's like, what do you expect? You probably see people weren't expecting shit from the tournament. Well, they should have. They at least should have known what Goku was about when it came to the exhibition. But
Yep.
they were just like, who cares? We're just gonna twiddle our thumbs and we're gonna show up with people like Brienne because that's our strongest warrior. And That's freaking. That's wild. Thinking about that now, just like, oof. Oh man, I don't know. What other Dragon Ball? Just waiting for this manga whenever it comes out. I wonder what Moro's doing in hell right now.
Well, is this Z Hell or is this Super Hell? Z Hell, look in hindsight, all of those motherfuckers should have broke out. It's like,
Yeah. Yeah.
but Super Hell, he probably took over Frieza's cocoon. They were probably like, oh, here's a vacancy. Throws his ass in. Fucking have fun with all these little fairies fucking driving you insane, man. You probably wish you were back at the Galactic Patrol eating, prison soup and dropping the soap. I don't fucking know what villains do.
It'd be funny if he was just there and then right next to him would be Gas and Elect. That's someone who, man, Elect had me right to the end and then Frieza killed him. I was like, oh, come on.
Oh man, I'd like to see the fucking dialogue between Gas and Elect because they're right next to each other going through check-in station.
Mhm.
Gas is like, you really gonna just let me fucking die?
Oh, he did every time, man. I thought he's like never show. I was like, oh, this guy's super smart. He has a plan, like this, that. Then Frieza comes, kills him at one. I'm like, oh man.
It
But
was smart of him to call Frieza, just get his ass killed, but Frieza took his sweet ass time getting there.
you're training for maybe he's doing it 10 years at a day, which is kind of crazy to think out loud. That's what happens.
Well,
So, Mitch, any other Dragon Ball things you wanted to bring up?
not that I can think of. I can't believe we had an hour to talk about it.
I mean,
My
there. I
lord.
mean, it's just when you start talking Dragon Ball things, things go through. I mean, we need there's inconsistencies. Obviously, you can pick apart and all of that, but no, just just talking about some super what if stuff. Who's gonna get a transformation first? Let us know who you guys think it'd be. And yeah, man, just Dragon Ball. We're waiting until we get some release dates, and then things will keep going. But besides that, thank you everyone for listening to the L7C podcast. Make sure you like, rate, comment, subscribe wherever you listen to, and we'll be back next time talking some Dragon Ball. We'll see maybe if a chapter comes out, maybe not. Maybe more trailers for Sparkling Zero. Maybe not. There's always some Dragon Ball thing, and we'll cover it here on the L7C. That being said, signing out. Thank you for listening to this episode of the L7C podcast. Be sure to like, rate, review, and subscribe to the channel. Follow us on all social media platforms, and we'll be talking to you guys soon. Take care.